Hello, hello, hello. I jumped on just a little bit early and I'm going to see if I can find myself. If you are new to what's going on or kind of a little bit out of the loop, you may wonder who I am or why I'm with you. My name is Kelly. I am not the Christine behind Cards by Christine. I am her cousin, and I am helping her out while she's in Hawaii. So she earned the incentive trip and went to Hawaii, right? Yes. I'm like, why am I like, earned the incentive trip and went to Hawaii, and we are holding down the fort while she's gone enjoying herself. So tonight we are going to be putting together the May Paper Pumpkin kit. And Paper Pumpkin is one of my all-time favorite product lines through Stampin' Up! I have subscribed for a long time. I would say probably 4 or 5 years. Paper Pumpkin itself has been around for quite a long time. Hello, Randy and Jennifer, Bonnie Brown. Hi, Chris. Nice to see you. Paper Pumpkin has been around for quite a long time. I don't know how many years in total, but they've come a long way. So if you haven't subscribed to Paper Pumpkin before or have not in a while, it's definitely worth checking out. Hello, Deb and Margaret, and hello from the big island of Hawaii. Chris has moved on. She's going to a couple additional destinations beyond Maui. And she's made it to the big island. I think her brother and Tyler are with her. Her mom came back to Wisconsin. We are in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. I think I failed to mention that. It is a cold and rainy day here. It is not nice. It was really hard for me to get myself motivated today. It was one of those days I felt like I just wanted to sit around in my pajamas and do a whole not a lot. Hello, Brenda and Bonnie. Thank you, Kathy. I'm really excited. It's been a lot of fun. We did mystery card night last week. And that was kind of an ease into because all I had to do was read and talk through stamping. Today is going to be some stamping, but it's Paper Pumpkin, so it's not completely off the cuff. So I'm really excited. I do have, hello Cheryl and Deanne and Julie. Cold in Detroit too. Oh, I feel like it's maybe just cold everywhere. Well, probably not cold in Hawaii, but, yeah, so I feel like it just, I don't even know what I was talking about. But I'm excited for Paper Pumpkin night. I do have an alternative card to do at the end. I'm excited. I tried to do something a little different. I used inspiration from a different demonstrator. It's a fun fold, so get excited for that. And I think you're really gonna like it. So, you know, if this one was different, I think it was something that either you loved it or maybe it wasn't quite your cup of tea. So tell me, what did you think of this Paper Pumpkin, if you know what it looks like? If not, I'll be showing it in just a couple of minutes. Hello from hot Arizona. Well, April, I guess you're lucky because I feel like a lot of people here are saying it's not very nice where they are. So,
87 by Chris.
Oh, it's 87 by Chris. Wow, that's cool. My mom is with me again tonight. I brought her with for mystery night. I don't know. I don't travel alone many times or places. This is my mom. Her name is Karen. She is Chris's godmother and also, of course, my mother. And I just, you know, I oftentimes, I think I'm a people person and I just like to be around people. And even though I'm going to be talking to you guys and engaged in that way, it's it's nice to just have someone riding along with you and being there. Yeah, Vicky, I as well took to liking it a little slower. I'm not gonna lie, Paper Pumpkin recently, I'd say in a 1 year span, I typically like 10 out of 12. So they do pretty well with, I think, attracting a diverse group of people with a diverse amount of offerings. Typically it's cards, which I think a lot of people enjoy. I know they used to do more projects in the past, but now it seems like most of what they are putting out is cards, which is great. They're saying hi to you, and Kathy King says you're so cute. So yeah, it took me a little bit to fall in love with this one. I don't think I should even say I fell in love with it, because I didn't. But I will say this, my husband is a huge sports fanatic. Thank you for sharing, Julie. Yes, if you wouldn't mind sharing with your family and friends, we would love for them to join us in this crafting journey, to catch us live every Thursday. And Chris has been doing such a great job hopping on more often than just Thursdays with like sneak peeks and just updates and fun stuff. So share with your friends. We're such a fun, happy community. It is kind of like my time to get away and tune in to something other than kids, and kids is a lot of my life. I work for a children's museum, so even when I'm away from my own kids, I'm dealing with kids in some way, shape, or form. So I love my job and I love my kids, so I don't mind. But sometimes doing something for myself and getting into an adult space is important as well. So let's see here. Yeah, so I guess the June Paper Pumpkin kit, there's going to be a preview of in the Paper Pumpkin box when I open it, which will be in the next couple of minutes. We still are expecting a couple more, so I'm going to just jibber jabber for a little bit longer, but then we'll get right down to it. I am kind of excited, not gonna lie. I'm the kind of person that my Paper Pumpkins tend to pile up on the shelves. I hate to admit it. We're getting better at putting them together. So I'm excited that, this one came in the mail about a week ago and it's not getting much dust on it before it's getting used. But yeah, so the next Paper Pumpkin is called Expressions in Color. It is loosely based off of, actually kind of closely based off of the Expressions in Ink collection or suite in the new catalog, which I'm not gonna lie to you, jumped out at me right off the bat. It was the bundle or suite that right away I knew I was gonna get. So I'm so excited that that is gonna be the next Paper Pumpkin. And if you've never subscribed, or if you maybe paused because this baseball one wasn't your thing, it's gonna include 2 ink spots. So about once a year they do that. So there's gonna be 2 ink spots, and it's going to be based off the in colors. Now, I don't know if that means both of the ink spots are going to be in colors, or if that means one of them is, or the coordinating paper, or exactly what that means. But it is going to be based off of the new in colors and include 2 spots. So very exciting. Consider subscribing if you haven't yet, because I do think it's going to be a pretty good kit. So, and when I flip the camera down, you'll see a preview of kind of what the look and feel of that one's going to be. So that might be helpful as well. Last shout out. So I'm not super duper into sports. When I was in high school, I was a cheerleader. I played volleyball and I ran track. I think that was everything. So I enjoyed being involved in sports, but I never really have cared too much about like sports as a following. So yeah, it was a little harder for me to kind of get into this one, but my husband is so into sports. Like, he is a fanatic sports fan. That's not quite right. We're from Wisconsin, and, you know, him too, born and raised in Wisconsin, but he's a Denver Broncos fan. And my knowledge of sports and enthusiasm for sports has grown exponentially since I started dating and married him. But, you know, it's gotten to be fun and exciting to care about things that he cares about. And he also loves the Brewers. So I got dressed up for the occasion, wearing my Brewers shirt, and I chose the pinstripe shirt because some of the card stock for the cards for tonight is pinstripes. So I thought it'd be fitting to dress for the occasion. And yeah, so I'm just excited. The Brewers won today. I am a Brewers fan. The Brewers played the Padres, and it went into extra innings. My cousin actually was at the game today. And so, yeah, I do enjoy watching the Brewers, just not quite as fanatically as him or others. Chris's brother actually is really into Brewers, too. He took me to my first Brewer game when I was probably in middle school. So, yeah, Chris's brother, Mark, loves the Brewers. So, yeah. Yes, Marcia, I am going to be doing Paper Pumpkin tonight, and oh, here it is. I was just going to grab it, and I think we've jabbered for long enough, so hopefully everyone that was planning on joining in tonight is here or will be rolling in shortly. So let's get started by opening up the box and seeing what's inside. Full disclosure, I did open my box when it came in the mail, but I haven't really touched any of the supplies yet. So let's see here. That is why I know about like the expressions in ink preview and all that good stuff. So Paper Pumpkin always comes in these beautiful boxes. I've seen people repurpose them. Like once you open it, you can turn it completely inside out, and then instead of it being a red box, it's just a craft box. That's a genius way of using it. The next box, hi Kathy, nice to see you tuning in. The next box is going to be a collectible box with this beautiful alcohol ink color on it. So, expressions in color. This is a preview of the June kit. It says Dream and Discover in color with next month's kit. Based on this little preview, I'm thinking it's going to be fresh freesia and polished pink. I could be wrong. Obviously, it's not pure forms of the color. But it says featuring colors from Stampin' Up's unique in-color collections for 2020 to 2022 and 2021 to 2023. So that being said, maybe it's Magenta Madness? I don't know. You'll have enough supplies to create 9 cards and coordinating envelopes, including 2 classic Stampin' Up! Spots and, as always, an exclusive stamp set. And it's all wrapped up in a cute, colorful, and collectible box. So I am so excited about this one. So I'm going to set that to the side. This month, they included some bubble gum. And hello, Loretta. I did indulge in one of them when I opened my kit up. It was kind of a fun little flashback. I haven't had bubble gum in a long time. And then I remembered how quickly bubble gum loses its flavor. And I just was like, oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so here is the exclusive stamp set. Paper Pumpkin stamp sets are always exclusive. They are not sold in the catalog. The only way you can get them is by subscribing to Paper Pumpkin. At this point, you cannot get this unless they have extras and put them in, I don't know if it's the clearance rack area or wherever they put the Paper Pumpkin supplies. Sometimes they do have extra refill kits, and sometimes they even have extra kits that you can purchase. But after the fact, it's never best to rely on purchasing it after the fact. They do suggest that you subscribe based off the little teasers that they put out so that you get in on the fun. Okay, so this stamp set is based off the baseball theme. It says, "You're the greatest of all time. You're the best. All-Star in that like swooshy baseball shirt font. And then we also have Ever, Grandpa, Dad, Son, Uncle, Friend, Brother, and Mom. And then there's a baseball hat and a baseball bat. So that's our stamps. It came with a Knight of Navy stamp and spot. And then here's the goodies. So the kit includes enough supplies to make 9 cards, 3 each of 3 different, hello Susan, 3 each of 3 different designs. So we're going to make 1 of each of these tonight. I'm just making a pile of garbage. Okay, if you are not a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, or if you're a new Paper Pumpkin subscriber, because this month they did have a promotion. Paper Pumpkin is roughly $20-ish plus tax and shipping or something like that. Usually it's somewhere between 20 and 25 in the end. And this month, if you subscribed, you could get this kit for $5 if you were a new subscriber. So maybe some of you took advantage of that, but they updated their instructions. The instructions used to be one side in color, and then all the instructions on the inside were in black and white. So now they have full color front and back, and I feel like they said something else was changed about this, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. Look at these alternative ideas. That's really cool. So it looks like that was created using circle punches from the envelope liner and this piece right here. So I love that. That's a really great way to use this kit in a non-baseball oriented way. So yeah, they have a lot of really great stuff with the kit. Great ideas, great information. There's also a couple Facebook groups out there that share Paper Pumpkin inspiration and alternative ideas. So, you know, I know it's a gamble to every month invest in something that you don't know exactly what you're going to get. I do think they have been getting a little better at putting more relevant clues out there. Typically, if you are a demonstrator or you can ask your demonstrator, they'll let you know what quantity of cards you're getting, what colors coordinate, and all that stuff. And we do try to put that all on the cover photo for the Paper Pumpkin Live Facebook event. But if you ever have any questions about what we think, you know, we aren't in the know any more than most of the rest of you. But after having been a Paper Pumpkin subscriber for quite a while, you know, it's a little easier to guess what some of the clues may mean. And by clues, I don't really mean that they like actually give clues like, hey, this is maybe going to be that or anything. But that being said, I do think you always get quality supplies, and there's always other things you can do with them if you don't love how the kit intended for you to use them. Okay, let's jump in because we have some cards to make. So this kit includes, I'm missing something. Da, 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 da. Okay, this kit includes instructions, a stamp set, and a stamp and spot, as well as 9 coordinating envelopes. We've got dimensionals, glue dots, embellishments. These are red and yellow. I'm guessing real red and so saffron, maybe daffodil delight. Embellishments. They're a matte finish embellishment. Pre-cut little, not banners, but kind of banners. Then we've got a whole bunch of sheets of pre-cuts that include a stripe sheet, red, a little baseball card, 2 bats, all-star, a plate, and a baseball. And then, hello Melanie, we've got 9 card bases, 3 each of 3 different designs. So we have this red sunburst design. We have this beautiful, now I didn't know I just thought this was a flat color. It looks like it's maybe soft suede-ish inspired. It's got a wood grain texture, which I see is not picking up very well, but it is a beautiful, subtle. Oh, Melanie, I bet you it is Bumblebee. That looks right. You got it. A beautiful, subtle wood grain texture, which I love. And then last but not least, we've got our pinstripes, which inspired my outfit for you tonight. So, let's make some baseball cards. Are we excited? Let's get excited. It's not the most exciting kit, but we can get excited anyways, right? So, I want to know who's all crafting along with me tonight. Who's a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, whether or not you activated your account to get this kit. Let me know if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, and then also let me know if you did get this kit, and if you didn't, why you didn't, because I'm curious. I was not expecting when I saw the design for this one. First of all, my thought was, I'm not gonna lie to you. First of all, when I saw what this kit was gonna be, my first thought was, oh dang, that's the month Chris is gone. That's the kit I'm doing. Like, really? And then I reminded myself, okay, your husband loves baseball. You watch baseball all the time because he watches baseball all the time. So it won't be that bad. And then I remembered as well that Chris's brother is very, very, very into baseball. So I'm like, okay, this is okay. Yeah. So anyways, yeah. I coached myself into being excited about it. So let's use that excitement and make some beautiful cards. And you know what? Not only are they beautiful, but they're also easy, because Paper Pumpkin makes it so easy to create beautiful cards, because all the supplies are pre-cut, they're coordinating, and I'm just really excited when it comes in the mail. First of all, because it's not a bill, it's very exciting when it comes in the mail. And it's kind of like, oh, it's my turn to do something for myself. Like, let's get that. That's what I'm trying to do more of. I was not super good at doing that when I was a newer subscriber, but I am trying. You know what? Maybe it's because of Chris's lives, because ever since Chris started doing her Paper Pumpkin lives, I have been a little more attentive to doing them in a timely manner. So there you go, Chris. All credit to you. So when you open the first flap, yes, no, Tom, you're not super into baseball. That would definitely be Mark. Oh, and I think Janet came along to that first game. I think it was not Chris. I think it was me and Kayla, Mark and Janet, and maybe some other people that were more on like Chris's other side of the family. But I think that's who all came along to that first Brewer game I ever went to. So a memorable experience. However, I can't remember anything about the game. Okay, so when I open the first flap, the first thing they show you is what's included in the kit that pertains to each card. So what Chris typically does is takes and lays all of her die cuts together. No pressure. There's never pressure, right? And punches them all out at once, which is easier said than done. But let's make this happen. I think I am a Paper Pumpkin hoarder. Janet, I'm right there with you because, like I said, I've been subscribing for probably 5 years. I'm just going to estimate on that. And it took a very special kit for me to be like, oh, yes, I'm going to make that. Like, I enjoy it and I want to make it. And I am going to sit and actually put the time into making it. So I have these 31 bags, you know, those large utility tote type bags that 31 sells. I have probably 3 or 4 of them filled with paper pumpkin. And what I do when I get my paper pumpkin is I take them out of the boxes because I don't have room for all of those boxes based on the number that I have. And I put them into gallon Ziploc bags. Oh, here, I think I should probably not cover up. If you have any questions for us ever, more like for Chris, this is how you can get a hold of her. This is her email address. This is her website, her phone number, and this is not the current host code. However, if you are looking to place an order, her host code can be found on her website at cardsbycrispy.com. So ignore this, and we will, you know, and if you need help finding the host code, definitely reach out to either of us, and we'd be more than happy to help you. So yes, now that we have everything punched out, I think we will start with the Starburst card. This card is made with this baseball type card, as well as some adhesives, a stamp, and some of the twine. So let's find where in this thing we have our instructions. So the first thing we do is take the baseball card and take some dimensionals and pop her up. These cards look like they're going to be pretty simple. And actually, this is pretty cool. On the illustration, it shows the estimated amount of dimensionals that they recommend using. Because sometimes dimensionals can be intimidating. So it's kind of nice that they show that, especially like I'll give this tip on the next one. It shows you to use a dimensional as well as a glue dot because of how it's layered on there, because you don't want to double pop it up. But I'll cover that in just a second. But this, they've really increased the usability of these instructions, which I'm sure everyone appreciates. Oh, man. So Faye had said, it looks like she's going to be making scrapbook pages out of the contents of this kit, which is really cool. I agree. You know, sometimes you're just not inspired. Like, I don't think this is a card that I would too much have a use for. But the elements are definitely usable for here. I didn't even start right. The first thing I would do is take your bone folder and fold your card with a nice crease. I saw it popping open and I'm like, oh yeah, bone folder, that's important. Yeah, I just don't know that this is something I would necessarily use for anything. But that's okay. The alternative card that I'm making is based off of this card base. So it's really great to utilize the supplies in a way that makes the most sense for you. So we are going to use this stamp set, and it's telling me to stamp onto this little die cut, and I like to keep it in here for centering purposes before punching it out. I'll do that after I stamp. But now I need to choose who this card is for. So I'm going to make it for a brother because this is Chris's set, and I think she could give this to her brother, Mark, for his birthday. So I took the brother stamp, and I'm going to ink it up. If you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, the first time you subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, you will get a block. It will not be a block like this that has the ridges or the nice ridges. It's a cheaper style block. So if you have any other supplies, you definitely can use your block. It's a little nicer, a little easier to hold on to and stamp with. Same with the ink pad. I'm not going to open the Stampin' Spot. I'm just going to use my Night of Navy stamp pad. It's just easier to use the supplies that we have. However, the kits are all inclusive. So if you don't have Night of Navy, or if you don't have different blocks, you definitely get everything you need to be successful in using this kit or any of the Paper Pumpkin kits. You're right, Susan. It would be nice if they had niece and nephew. I did hear that some people were using, about a year, maybe a year and a half ago, there was a Paper Pumpkin that had a tree and a bunch of different familial stamps that were like niece, nephew, uncle, you know, stuff like that. And I can't remember what, A Wonderful Family or something like that. So maybe you could track down a set like that to use for personalizing it in a different way. Okay, so we stamped. Now we're going to punch this out. Then it shows here a glue dot behind 4.5 inches of twine. You can see across the edge here is a ruler for you to measure out your ribbon, which is brilliant. I love that. So you can take your ribbon and measure out 4.5. Grab your ribbon scissor. Okay, then Carol, your workflow for Paper Pumpkin sounds exactly the same as mine. I store all of my stamps in a old photo album, and by that I mean in probably 20 old photo albums. And then I put my Stampin' Spots in the big wood cases, the ones that are like an inch and a quarter, an inch and a half thick. So it sounds like we have a very similar workflow. Okay, so then they put a glue dot and then weave this somewhat back and forth, up and down. Oh my goodness gracious. Up and down and back up. Now, you don't need to get too worked up about how this looks because most of it's going to be under the sentiment you just stamped. But the other thing that I was just referencing from before is that this is how they indicate that on this side, so on this side, you're going to put a dimensional, and on this side, you're going to put a glue dot so that when you stick it on this baseball card, this baseball card is already dimensionalized. So if you put another dimensional under it, it would be too high and your sentiment would be coming down at an angle, if that makes any sense. So under the bro, I'm going to put a dimensional, and under the other, I'm going to put a glue dot. So let's do that. And this is sized perfectly that you can put a dimensional on it and not have any hanging out, which is perfect. And then you're just going to, I put mine just a little too low because I'm just going to peel it off. You want the glue dot that your twine is on to be up from this text because you want to cover your glue dot, and I would have then covered some words. So sorry if you're crafting along with me. Like I said, I didn't do any of this ahead of time, so I am kind of winging it. I planned on watching one of Chris's past Paper Pumpkin classes today, and I had a chaotic day at work, and then I got home and I just did not have the time. And then I was going to watch in the car because my mom drove, and I just didn't have it. So you know what? I'm going to wing it, and it'll be fine. So hopefully we're all going to just have a great experience, and you guys can just laugh along with me as I go through this. So, there we go. Then last but not least, we have the embellishments, which I love. I'm so excited to use these. And the really great thing about Paper Pumpkin is it seems like there's always extra supplies. So they give you enough to use for other projects as well, which is quite nice. The other thing that I really love about this is sometimes I struggle. I love putting embellishments on projects. I think they really, really finish up a project quite nicely. But sometimes I struggle to know where to put them because I struggle with random. And they literally show you on this printout-y thing right where they put their embellishments. So that was super simple. Then I would grab one of the envelopes. Now, there isn't real much blue in this one, but it does still look really nice with it. And to be honest with you, I'm always tempted, and I don't often do it because, like I said, to me, Paper Pumpkin is something that I do quickly, so I don't take the time to innovate. But I'm always tempted to cut up the envelope with the flap because they always have such beautiful corresponding imagery on the envelopes. So that is card number 1. Let's move on to card number 2. Okay, so here's the Pinstripes card, which is awesome. I am excited about that. So first, we're going to set ourselves up for success by folding our pre-scored card base and using our bone folder. See, we're already off to a better start. Okay, then we are going to take this red piece and 2 bats. And over on the instructions, it shows the little gray dots, which means on this card, they are using glue dots. Now, again, if you are more of a seasoned crafter and you have other supplies, feel free to use other supplies. These glue dots are not the most fun to work with. The glue dots on a roll are usually better to work with, but because of the quantity that you need, which is not a full roll's worth, they include the sheets. So sometimes it's just better to use what you have and not fuddle with what they send you. If you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber for long enough, you may end up with quite a supply of extra things. But I'm going to elect to use liquid glue to adhere the pieces of this card together. The other thing that I like about liquid glue, Chris got me onto liquid glue. You know, I don't know how long that's been around either, but she got me onto it a couple of years ago. I like that you can shimmy. Sometimes I'm indecisive. Other times I just blatantly get it wrong, and I'm like, as soon as I stick it down, I'm like, oh my goodness, that is not centered, or that is not where that was supposed to go. So the liquid glue gives you that little bit of flexibility that it's not down and set in stone forever. So I do enjoy that as well. All right, then we are going to take one of the baseball cutouts and turn the baseball on its side. Let's see here. And take a stamp, All-Star. You know what else they need? They need husband. But it could be, I could make this All-Star Dad for my husband for Father's Day. I think that's what we'll do. I know this is Chris's card, but we're going to go All-Star Dad. I don't think John, who is Chris's dad and my mom's brother, is much into baseball, but maybe he'll get a baseball card for Father's Day. She does handle liquid glue like a pro. I feel like I always make some sort of mess with it. I have gotten better. And because I like how it handles, I always elect to use it, but sometimes I make the biggest mess with liquid glue and I just get myself in a tizzy, but it's okay. That's why this adhesive eraser is so handy, and even the sand eraser, which is not necessarily for adhesive, but sometimes that does help as well to get some of the sticky messes taken care of. Yeah, I honestly never thought of the husband thing until right in this moment when I was thinking about making this for him. But I guess you can't have it all, right? Okay, so then we are going to use dimensionals behind the baseball and the All-Star sentiment. Now, this All-Star sentiment is pre-printed and die cut. They do have it as a stamp as well. It's a little smaller as a stamp, but we are using the pre-cut that they included in the kit. Okay, so 3 dimensionals on that one and 2 behind the All-Star. Is there a Happy Father's Day? There isn't. That would have been quite handy. Let me just double check, but no. No, there isn't. You know, I feel like You're the Greatest Blank of All Time. Well, I guess you could do Dad. I was going to say You're the Greatest Father of All Time would have been nice, but yeah, so there are, in essence, some maybe pieces potentially that could be viewed as missing from this stamp set, but I guess you get what you get and you don't whine a bit. That's it, right? Wow. I am not doing the best job of replicating what they are doing here, but let's see how this all comes together. I think they had the red banner a little bit lower or higher. I don't know. Yeah, because that doesn't really, it looks like the red banner. According to this, it looks like I should be seeing a lot more of the red banner, and I'm not. It looks like this is supposed to be trimmed down closer. I don't really like that you don't see that banner behind there. So I think I'm going to take the dimensionals that I put on here off and fussy cut around it. I know a lot of people don't love that word. Fussy cutting is not the most fun. I don't necessarily enjoy it either, but it does look like there's quite a huge border around this, and I'm trying to replicate what they made in the picture, and I'm just not getting that with this red because you barely see any of the red around it. So bear with me. The only thing worse than fussy cutting is fussy cutting on camera because you feel like you've got 45 sets of eyes on you. And fussy cutting's just not the most fun. I think we as stampers have gotten really spoiled by Stampin' Up! In the last few years because compared to before, and you wouldn't believe it, I am going to be 30 this year, and I have been stamping for probably 15 years, maybe 18, I don't know. We've been doing this with Chris for quite a while. Obviously, I was not near as involved as I am now, and I really enjoy doing more with stamping, but you know, Chris would have some in-home parties and some card classes, not necessarily card classes that she run. Chris has been into demonstrating for, I think, going on 8 years. But you know, she would have card making parties as Stampin' Up! Parties. Let's see, how close do they get? Okay, they just go. So anyways, I've been doing this for quite a while, and when they came out with dies, you are right. Don't fussy cut for 24 swaps. That would be way too many. When they came out with dies or coordinating like punches and stuff like that, it was like the coolest thing ever. And I think in the last few years, they've really gotten more sets that have coordinating dies and punches, and it really just elevates the amount of things that you can make by having the ability to cut things out quickly and easily. Because like Melanie said, a lot of card makers make a lot of cards in large quantities, so you always could get the same look by fussy cutting, but it's just not as practical. So the coordinating die cuts really has elevated the amount of things that you can make from their stamps and their bundles and suites and stuff like that. And to be honest with you, in the last year and maybe a little better, they've started to explore a lot of things besides just cutting out of stamped images. For instance, like the just shapes that don't necessarily coordinate with a stamped image. It's just like a filigree or a flourish or something that's just beautiful, a beautiful way to add texture and embellish your card. So I've really fallen in love again with stamping and card making because of how easy they've made it to make beautiful things. Okay, so that is so much better. So I don't know what exactly happened there. I'll show you. I don't think I showed this off very well. You know, this amount of buffer around the All-Star is so much more comparable to what they have here on their sample. So I don't know if their machine maybe was not quite set up to cut it quite right, but I do suggest if you are following along or if you are using this kit for the purpose of making the cards as is, I do suggest fussy cutting around that All-Star so that you get the right look. Or another thing you could do, knowing that this is the case, you could take the baseball and this and lay it all out and take this piece, hello Lori, cut it in half, because you won't see, you don't see much of all of that anyways. So you could cut it in half and pull it out to the sides more so that you see more of the red. Because otherwise it's just kind of not even really worth having under there. It maybe just looks more like a mistake. So I guess that would be my pro tip. If you are opposed to fussy cutting, you obviously can do it a different way. And that would be my suggestion. Okay, so to finish this card off, we are going to take some of these, oopsies, embellishments and tuck them in by the baseball. I agree. It does look so much better trimmed down to size. So I think that was definitely an oopsies on Paper Pumpkin's behalf. But you know what? They do everything so well that every once in a while, I guess they can get away with making a mistake. So, and I don't know, maybe let me know, is your kit the same way? Maybe it was an oopsies that they caught and some kits have it that way and other kits maybe are more as pictured. All right, so that is card number 2. Again, with the coordinating envelope. Beautiful. I love it. If this said if this said husband, I would be giving this to my husband and he would love it. Okay, then last but not least, let's move on to card number 3 before we move on to our alternative, which I know you guys are dying to see. And I'm excited too. I think I have a good one for you. Okay, so step number 1 is to fold your card base in half So if you are unfamiliar with Paper Pumpkin, all of their card bases are, like in this case, and I think in almost all cases, they're printed. So it's printed just on the front side. And they're scored, pre-scored, which is so great because then you can just go ahead, bring your bowling folder in and give it that nice burnished edge and boom, you're ready to go. Okay, so take this Harry Potter Quidditch scarf piece. Oh, it's dimensionalized. And go ahead and put 2, 4, 6 dimensionals on it. You are so right, Lori. It is so cool to see what people make with their extra Paper Pumpkin supplies. I have very rarely finished a whole kit that I've used all of the necessary pieces for a kit to know what's left behind. But I do know that they're always generous with what they give and that there are extras. And some people are so creative. I can be creative, but what I am better at is using other people's creativity as inspiration to make pretty things that I didn't come up with. And that's okay too. Okay, so then we're gonna take a glue dot and 12 inches of white twine. Again, there's a ruler, handy dandy ruler across the side here. Dun, da, da, dun. Ribbon. Okay. So then go ahead and put a glue dot right in the middle. Oopsies. Okay, so I have typically pretty long fingernails. These are actually not that long for me, but I struggle with glue dots because of the length of my fingernail. Now, you would say, well, Chris has a take your pick tool. I personally don't own a take your pick tool, so I don't actually really know how to use it. I'm sure it's not difficult, but I should learn how to use it because it does look like a real handy little tool. Okay, so 12 inches is the perfect amount, so I need to go back and shorten that up a little bit and then make 2 loops. You guys, take your pick tool is like 10 bucks. I don't know why I don't own one, but they are great for that type of thing where you need to get an embellishment off a sheet or to get a glue dot off of the roll. So worthy investment that I probably should just make. Okay, so hello, Karen. How are you doing tonight? I hope you're having a great day. I think you are here in Wisconsin. I wonder how the weather is where you are. Again, you're the best. Let's see here. Friend. Let's do you're the best friend. Hello, Angie Liner. I know where you're from. You are from, I think, North Fond du Lac. Nice and local. It's nice to see you popping on. All right, so this one can go all on one block. You know, I should definitely be using a foam mat. These are photopolymer stamps. Photopolymer stamps are great. They just don't have any cushion. So you would want to be using a foam mat. And look at right here, as I speak, I find the foam mat that Chris has here. So there you go. You're just gonna get your best impression if you use a foam mat. That's not to say it won't turn out good. It just won't be the best. All right, now I need to get this nice and inked up. I agree, Faye. The ruler on these instructions is brilliant. There's a couple spots on this stamp that aren't taking on the ink, so I don't like that. I guess it will add to the weathered look. Oh, man. Okay, just kidding. I am going to stamp that on some scrap paper. Correction, scrap tissue paper. So photopolymer stamps, as I'm like talking up how great they are, it is good to like get the stickiness off. You know, you may notice that they are kind of sticky. So it is a good idea to stamp them with no ink on paper, or to clean them off before you use them. Sometimes it's helpful. What I was getting was areas where it wasn't picking up the ink, and I was afraid of how that was going to look when I stamped it. So there's still one spot here, I don't know if you can see it, in the E that is going to not have ink, and I don't know what I can do about that, but that being said, it's a lot better than it was before I cleaned it off. So one last dab. Lay out your stamps so that they fit on this baseball base. So I still didn't get a great impression. However, I love how it looks. It's got like an ombre effect to it, where it's got the dark Night of Navy to the light Night of Navy. Totally accidental, but I'm gonna keep it because I think it looks kind of cool. Alrighty, hello Cindy, how are you? I hope you're having a fantastic night. Glad you tuned in. Okay, cleaned up my stamp. Now, what are we doing next? Okay, dimensionals behind this guy. We've got 3. Ooh, I feel like I would not think that's enough. So I'm going to give a couple more. Stamp in Versamark. That's a great tip. Okay. And then we are going to pop this up. Let's see here, I need to get this centered. Make sure my ribbon hangs out. Okay, I didn't do the best job with ribbon. Okay, so now this was a 12-inch cut of ribbon. I feel like I maybe could have gotten by with a little bit more ribbon. I would like this loop to be a little bigger and maybe this tail to be a little bigger. So when you're doing this, maybe cut yourself a little bit more of a generous piece of ribbon so that you can trim it down. Typically, they don't skimp on ribbon, that there should be enough for you to have a little extra and cut off. But that is just a suggestion of mine based on how this one turned out. And last but not least, let's go ahead and put some embellishments on again. Okay, so for those of you that are crafting along with me and or everyone else, what do you think of these cards? Now that you've seen them, whether or not you got them, what do you think? Do you like them, or would you be more interested in doing alternative things with them? Here is my opinion. I'm going to bring them all back in and actually clean up a little bit so there's not so much clutter for you guys. Bum, bada, bum. All right, so here's the one we just finished. And here are the other 2. I like this one. I actually like this one kind of a lot. So with my kit, they're all just okay. I hear you, Susan. With my kit, when I take it home, I'll probably make this one as is. However, I'm not blown away by either of these 2. And the funny thing about that is I like these 2 card bases a lot. So I can see me using these pieces for other things, or just recycling them like this. You're in a league of your own really doesn't speak to me. But I love these two bases. So I could see making some really beautiful things with these pieces. So we'll see. Anne likes the first two best, so the red one and the blue one. And Lynn says, fun basic cards that many men would be fine with. You're right. Men probably don't care too much to begin with. And to make quick and easy cards, I just made 3 cards in an hour. Granted, I was talking a lot, so I probably could have made them in half an hour. So for that reason, they would be good. Good enough. All right. Are you ready for the alternative? I'm going to bring a couple of things in. I'm going to put the eyes on me for now so that I'm not giving it away. And I'm going to get my supplies around. And what do you think? I gave a couple of hints. We're going to be making a fun fold. And I think I said that we're going to be using the red Starburst base. And I'm just going to pull in a couple of other things as well. I was tempted not to use the stamp set that was included because it's not super versatile, but I didn't want my alternative to be that different. I wanted it to at least resemble the kit. So I did pull in, let's see here. I'm looking for a card base. Here it is. No, that's not it. Here it is. Okay, so this is what I'm going to use. And I can't even show you what it's going to look like when it's done because I haven't made it yet. I'm really winging it and I'm getting a little nervous about it, but we're all in this together, right? Okay, so I am bringing in my Stampin' Trimmer. I'm going to make a score mark at 2 3/4. No credit given to me. Ooh, patriotic. That would be awesome. So, funny story. Okay, not even a story, and it's really not funny. My husband is born on the 4th of July. So that's another thing that I've gotten into because of him. Obviously, I'm patriotic in my own way. Like, I love our country, but I never was all that into, you know, red, white, and blue and flag motifs and all that good stuff. But because of him, I have gotten more into that kind of stuff. So, yeah, this would make an awesome patriotic card. Okay, so I scored here at 2 3/4. Now I'm going to rotate it and score it at 1 1/4. Make sure I grab the right blade so I'm not cutting it. Now, according to someone else's measurements, that should give me an A2 card base. All right. Let's see here. Where is my envelope? Just make sure that I got... Yep, that should fit. I think, let's see here. Where did I put my ruler? Look at that. 4 1/4. Okay, so then grab your bone folder and burnish down those creases. And that one's fine. Then pull in a piece of real red that is 5.5 by 1.5, I want to say. You guys, I'm really winging it. I'm sorry. I'm going to be a little bit of a scatterbrain until this card is done. It is 1.5 by 5.5. The person whom designed this card brought in some retired stamps that gave it more of a weathered look, and I don't even remember what they were called. So my apologies for not knowing that. But I did like how that looked, but I didn't really want to pull in things that were retired or not in the kit. I mean, obviously this piece of paper is not in the kit, but I did just want to keep it kind of more plain Jane. Oh, I have one of them ready. So I'm just going to leave it this red. Obviously, you can tell that this weathered look over here does look like how it's supposed to. But I think enough of it will get covered that it doesn't really matter. Then, in pulling all of this together, I wanted to include a ribbon. I'll probably end up adding some of this anyways. But I wanted to include a ribbon. And I was kind of looking around. I didn't know exactly where I was going to find all of Chris's ribbons. And I saw this, which is thicker than I would normally use. But I liked the challenge and I loved the color. Chris is signing off. It was so nice that you crafted along with us. Not really crafted, but that's okay. And I hope you have a great trip off to your next place. I think it was Ohana? I don't know. I shouldn't even pretend to know because, to be honest with you, it's like a completely different language. But yes, as Melanie said, safe travels, Chris. I hope you get where you're going without any troubles. So, I am going to add this ribbon, and at first I thought I was gonna put it running down the middle of this, and then I thought that was too much of it. So again, I'm going to just kind of wing it, and I'm gonna do the thing that I always do with ribbon and put it off the side. You guys, you gotta let me know when you get sick of this look, because I'll have to come up with something else. But I'm still loving how this looks. And I'm hoping to love how it looks on this card. So this ribbon is a beautiful color. And I love the sheen of it. So as soon as I'm done here, I'll give you a little bit more of a close-up on it. Oh man, isn't that beautiful? Like I said, it's kind of got a nice sheen to it. And to me, it's a really easy way to use this thick ribbon that sometimes I struggle with. I struggle with how thick it is and knowing when and how and where to use it. So now I want to put it here, but I want to make sure that when I finish off this sandwich of my ribbon sandwich that I don't have any of the tear and tape hanging off the edge. So I'm gonna kind of lay it here to know how far I have. I see I have a little ribbon tail hanging off here. I'll have to send Chris a picture of how this turns out because she doesn't know either. She sent me some inspiration throughout the week. And I just wasn't in the right headspace to kind of put it together in my mind, and I kept pushing it off and kept pushing it off, and today's the day, and I was at home thinking, oh man, this could be real bad. And someone had commented that they were tuning in to see how, or like what alternative I did, and I'm like, oh goodness, guys, pressure's on. But actually, as I was pulling things together, I was really impressed with what I was coming up with, so I feel good about it. I just the ribbon started running a little bit, so I'm going to trim that. Okay, so I finished off my ribbon sandwich with a layer of tear and tape, and then I put another row of tear and tape. You guys, I really hope I like how this turns out. Oh, man. Okay. So, adhered that over there. So now we've got, oh man, this one little piece keeps hanging out. Okay. Now we've got this, which is going to be our card base. Then another thing I saw from someone else that really inspired me was using this base pad. They turned it sideways like it was half of a nested label. So I'm going to put that over here with my sentiment on it. And all of a sudden, this card that was very tending towards masculine and very sports themed is not looking quite so sports themed. So I think I am going to use Night of Navy just like we had been. And I think I'm going to do You're the Best, but not put a title on it. You're the Best. I don't know. Let's see here. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so unless maybe I should do gray, because there really is nothing else that's blue. I do think navy would tie in well, but maybe... Okay, so the ribbon is smoky slate, I think. Where on here? Dun, 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 dun. Smoky slate. The ribbon is smoky slate, but basic gray is darker. I think I'm gonna go with basic gray. I'm improvising, guys. Oh man, wish me luck. Now, we'll see if I still get that ombre type look. Ombre, I don't know how to say it. Stamp in red. Ooh, that would be nice. That would really pop. I think you're right, Faye. Let's do it. Your fast fingers saved me. I'm 20 seconds ahead, but you must have been Johnny on the spot with that. So let's go ahead and dun, 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 stamp this off. There's still a funky spot on there. I don't know. I think this red is really gonna pop. Okay, so I grabbed Real Red. So Real Red is the same color as that strip of paper that I pulled in for the side. Okay, so let's put this. The stamps that are included in this paper pumpkin kit aren't the best size for turning the base sideways like this. But like I said, I really wanted to use these stamps. If you pull in any old stamps, you could probably find a ton of options. Actually, oh man, I was supposed to lead with this. This is the technique card that I made this morning. I am in love with it. And what I was going to say is this Life is Better with Friends Like You, boom, would be perfect in that base because it's very vertical. I just love this, and it was so simple and really takes minimal supplies. I want to make a ton of these cards. You get it set up on the Stamparatus, and this would be so easy. I know, Faye caught me right in the nick of time, and I love it. I think this red looks perfect, and I'm sure when I put it on the card, it is going to have been the right choice. Sometimes the right answer is right in front of you, and you just don't see it. Okay, now, especially because of the dimension that this ribbon adds, I'm definitely going to use dimensionals behind this. And I think I'm going to try to be real careful not to go... Obviously, I don't want them to hang over. And I don't want to say worried, but I'm a little worried about it sticking because of all of the ribbon on the side. So I'm going to be very generous with my dimensionals. So let's get the backs. I was just complaining about my fingernails, and here we go again. Yesterday, my thumbnail split right down the middle, like into 2 layers. And so I had to cut it off, and I use my thumbs a lot, so that is real inconvenient for me. Okay, let's get that to fold correctly. And I want it to be, I think, centered vertically. Oh man, let's see here. So the sunburst is a little higher than centered. So I feel like this would be centered. And this would be centered on the sunburst. I think I'm gonna go centered on the sunburst. Get that butted up nice to the edge. Wow, Faye, you were so right. This red looks awesome. And I think the gray would have been too subdued. So that was a great call. Okay, so now it's still missing something, which is what I was a little afraid of. This is how far I got it in my head, and I was like, okay, this is what we're doing. But I think it's still missing something. Now, of course, I have these embellishments. I also pulled in some neutral type embellishments. I love these opal rounds. So that was the first thing that came to mind, were these opal rounds, which I think is what I might end up doing. Although because of the grunge, it might be too textured with all of the beautiful detail in these opal rounds. I also brought over the silver and clear epoxy dots, which the silver might look really nice, or it might contrast too much with that. No, that's actually pretty nice. So maybe I'll add some red and silver. To me, clear doesn't, I don't know, that doesn't do much. Stella, yes. I should do Stella on the best. Or maybe on the sunburst. No, the best. Let's see here. I think her Stella pens are starting to run dry. So she needs, oh, it looks like they have been refreshed. Let's see here. All right, Luann, Sandy, and Faye, do you guys have any suggestions? Like I said, this is how far it came in my head, and now I'm like, I like it. I really like it. Yay for opal rounds. Okay, let's use opal rounds and maybe some silver. And let's see if I can get, oh, Stella's coming. Stella's coming. Okay, there we go. All right, let's see here. I think I'm gonna do it on the best. I'm getting red all over the Stella tip. Ha ha. Oopsies. Opal rounds and silver. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. I really like what the Stella is doing as well. It's adding some of that silver tone, which I think will tie really nice to those silver embellishments. Diamonds would be nice as well. I don't know if she's got some of them over here maybe. I might need to run and find some. We'll see. Okay, so, sorry. Oh my God! Stella just ooped on me. All right, let's see here. Damage control mode. I'm using the tissue paper, guys. Oh, I don't think anything is going to take that off. But, okay, let's see here. Let's pretend that that didn't happen. That was a big oops. And I was just done with it anyways. Ah, that's okay. The other thing I could see is maybe putting like a bow behind here and having the long tails hanging off of this twine. I think I'm gonna try that too. So let's see here. Opal rounds are stuck to this. I think I'm gonna put a small one and two down there. A small one up here maybe. And maybe here. Stick a large gem on it. Just embellish it. It was meant to be there, right? Okay, so I'm gonna do that for the opal rounds, which I really like. And then So these silver and clear epoxy essentials come in diamonds, circles, and teardrops. I think I'm gonna do the diamonds. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. Put one there. Dun, 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 dun. You guys, I really, really, really struggle with random. Like, a lot. No, I think I need... And I know they suggest you always do things in odd numbers. You guys, I'm starting to sweat. Okay, this is what I've got so far. It's hard to hold it shut and not get shadows on you guys. So I don't have an odd number of rhinestones. I think it's okay. But I do think I'm still going... Oh, and I didn't use any of the red ones. Maybe I no. I think I've got... enough. But I do think I'm going to try my idea with the ribbon. Or the bow. Let's see here. Just want a single bow. But I want long tails. And I'm tying this bow completely backwards. Let's see here. That is much better. I was making my brain do some jumping jacks. Who knows? This may not look the best. We'll see. I'm still doing it backwards. You guys, the pressure is on. You think it's done. You could be completely right. All I'm thinking is, and you know what? Yeah, I don't even think, I don't know. I'm gonna let you guys catch up to me. I'm gonna tuck this back there. I'm just thinking something like this, maybe. Anyone have any input on the twine? I do like that it gives a little bit more of an organic element to it. And I do like that it ties one more thing to the kit, which I know does not matter in real life. But, I kind of like it. I'm going to go with it. So I'm going to grab my ribbon scissor and trim this edge off. So let me know what you think. Would you have included this little bit of twine, or would you have skipped it? I'm committed. I'm going to do it. And let's get a glue dot. Stick that in the back. And what do you think of this alternative? Do you like it? Do you think it's a good use of this more masculine set or more masculine card? I think I like, oh yeah, I like that. I think it looks completely different than all of the cards from the rest of the suite, or not the suite, the card kit. So I'm getting mixed review on the twine, and I'm as well wondering, you know, now that I'm seeing it with the rest of it, like opening and closing it, it's kind of like little whiplash. So I think I am going to take it off. I don't know. I do like it, but I don't love it. So there we go. I think that does it. So if I wouldn't have goobered Stella, I do like what the Stella did to the card. But if I wouldn't have goobered the Stella right at the end, I think it'd be perfect. So that's my alternative for you. I'm going to put it down one more time. Just as a reminder, I scored here at 2 3/4, and then I turned it around and scored back 1 1/4, and then brought in 1 1/2 by 5 1/2 of red on the side. So that's my alternative for you. And I have all of the other cards over there. So I'm going to pull away for a second to show you them. Dun, da, da, dun. Got all sorts of vertical cards tonight. So that's what we've got. And, oh my goodness gracious, you're still looking at me. That's what we've got for our cards tonight. I hope you enjoyed spending an hour and a half with me and creating these beautiful cards. After having done them, I like the kit more than I did before. I hope you do as well. And I'm going to take this opportunity to clear my workstation and show you the mystery card. Because that, I know Chris normally does like giveaways and stuff like that of her past cards. Oh my goodness, you guys, where did I put the mystery card? Oh, here it is. Okay, here we go. Drum roll, please. Okay, here it is. This is the mystery card. I should have, oh man, you guys, I should have started with this. This is the mystery card I made with you. And here is the mystery card that I designed. I love it. It was the first time using the Friends Are Like Seashells or something like that, whatever that suite is called. I really love that suite, and I was trying to pull myself a little bit outside of my comfort zone. I wanted to do something with a circle for the focal white piece instead of, oftentimes I try to do squares or rectangles because it's more universal and easier to put out for a mystery card. We don't know that everyone has circle punches or dies, but I figured if I said that it was a circle, if you didn't have a circle die, you could at least maybe trace a soup can or something like that you could still get a circle and create along with us. And yeah, this is what I ended up with. I love this opal, not opal, oh my goodness. Seriously, I like the opal card, or the opal rounds that are with this suite. And I think this ribbon is from the Fine Art Floral suite. But I love how it tied with the sand dollar and the opal rounds. So thank you, Luann. I do like having the seashells kind of brought away. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I did not go into the mystery card and tally up the submissions. Typically, I would do that before tonight's live for Chris to draw with the prizes, but I don't really know what the prizes are and stuff like that, so Chris is going to do that when she gets back. So I actually haven't looked at all of your beautiful cards, so I hope you guys enjoyed Mystery Night, and I hope you enjoyed your creation. I can't wait to go check them out. I know they're out there, and I'm anxiously awaiting doing it. I kind of forgot until this very minute. So I'm going to give you one last look at the card in case you missed it and just tuned in. I will also post this in that mystery event so that if you missed the live, you can see it there. And while I'm in there, I'm going to check out everyone's cards because I'm sure they're beautiful. I like this, I added this textured embossed piece as well. Again, I don't typically do that because I don't know that everyone has those tools, and I want everyone to be successful in their mystery card, whether they have the great fun tools or not. You know, you can do a lot of beautiful fun things without all of the tools. So I guess that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So I hope you guys had fun with me these last two nights. Next week, Thursday, Chris is back. So she'll be back in the hot seat. I have had so much fun connecting with you guys. I'm always with you on the back end. I do some of that kind of stuff, but it was fun to get out in front of you guys and make some stuff and use one of these paper pumpkin kits and run the helm for Mystery Night. So I think I'll be in the hot seat more often. We'll see. I know Chris has some things up her sleeve. So you may be seeing more of me, and if you don't see more of me in the live hot seat, you will continue to catch me for Technique Thursday because I love doing that as well. So I hope you have a great Thursday night. If you're anywhere close to me or anywhere that it's raining, I know it's dreary and drab, so I hope that this has brought some love and sunshine into your life on this Thursday night. So I'll catch you later and have a great night.